I mean, it seems like, from the outside, this roster's ready to compete now, which is easy.
Oh, well, I mean, obviously on paper we have a really good team, but, you only have, we started training camp.
Anyone that would have ever used that phrase to describe Christy Sides.
Everybody admires her and the way she coaches and the way she leads.
It was like that. Remember when the Alex Caruso picture came out?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was ripped.
Yeah. Just honestly trying to get stronger.
Season, working on your game.
I'm trying to get stronger, like a lot of times.
Like, ignore it, deal with it, even though you know it's not true?
Yeah, I think it's something you kind of just become used to. It's like people think they know what's going on inside of your locker room, and they just don't. At the end of the day, it's just
off the court. And you could see the people that were uncomfortable with some of the things. Like, even with Alyssa Smith, like, I don't think early videos, one of my early videos on the channel, and this was actually, it was before this. Yeah, Braden Denver Spurs. Literally.
This interview opens with a genuinely great callback. Clark congratulates Diana Taurasi on her retirement, and Taurasi immediately fires back. Now, unfortunately, reality is coming to me now. A direct self-own, referencing her own famous 2024 warning to Clark. That's real, confirmed by Sports Illustrated and the New York Post, and it's a perfect way to open this whole appearance.
That people miss, you guys make it before it even happens. And that's why it's,
Wait, so now that you're retired, D, you can be honest. What was the most difficult pick and roll coverage for you?
I think the hard hedge was always annoying. Being a bigger guard, I feel like little guards can split it, get around it. Like, I would always try to fight and go around, as you know. So probably the hedge was just annoying because you knew you had to get off the ball. And that's when you evolve and you try to play off the ball a little bit more.
Yeah, well, I think like that's one of the biggest things when I was playing you. Like, just the way when you're off the ball and people are like top blocking you, like just how savvy you are to like fool them and fool the refs, and like the way you use screens. Like, honestly, like I just loved watching it up close. Like, it was impressive. Like, you could tell you played the game for a really long time.
If you guys remember when they played the first game after the Olympic break, I'm not joking. Like, the tactic for the Fever was leave everybody open.
The play as long as possible advice exchange is a small, genuine moment worth including. Real, unscripted banter between three people who clearly like and respect each other, not manufactured content.
The better defenders that I've faced, like, she's just up in your grill, she'll pick you up 94 feet.
She's not wrong there. Like, Nika Mule literally got drafted. I saw a ranking where it was like, Nika Mule was literally ranked as like the 15th, or was like the 20th best point guard in NCAA Division 1. She nearly became a first-round pick just because she did a good job on Caitlin Clark. Just like Raven Johnson Raven Johnson last year had first-round talks for this year. Raven Johnson.
Clark's actual scouting breakdown of Paige Bucher's here is substantive, real basketball analysis, praising her poise, her ability to score at all three levels, and specifically calling her mid-range game some of the best I've honestly ever seen. That's a genuine, detailed compliment from one elite player to another.
Oh, well, obviously on paper we have a really good team, but, you only have, we start training camp, I think, on the 27th, and then, like, we have a back-to-back of preseason games on May 3rd and May 4th. So it's like, you have a very short amount of time to put that together. And 7.
The only good thing about that is that obviously, it does matter as far as like preseason is concerned, like training camp having a short amount of time, but it's very different trying to get a bunch of like off the ball.
The Yukon stat and the Nika Mule story are both real and worth including. Clark's own account of facing one of the toughest individual defenders of her college career, someone who nearly became a first-round WNBA pick, largely off the strength of her defense against Clark specifically.
Suspension.
So last year, I think the limit is 7.
It's 7, yeah. You got 6.
I got 6.
I leave that to you two. You two know the limits.
I got 6 too.
Yeah.
But this year,
my whole career.
Was Sophie Cunningham the one that got suspended? Because at one stage, there's literally one of my more popular videos is the entire Mercury team is about to get suspended. They were all like one tee off.
Hey, you got too. I can see it. Yeah.
Oh, wow, Sue. You're so perfect.
Clark's genuine excitement about the Fever's roster additions, Natasha Howard, DeWanna Bonner, Sophie Cunningham, reflects real optimism about a team suddenly stacked with championship experience heading into a new season under a new coach.
That was by far the longest. They, that is a really important thing that this type of stuff is happening. It's a really important thing that you're seeing Caitlin Clark. No longer reality is coming. It's no longer the reality is coming Clark. It's now, you know what, Caitlin Clark has shown that she's that good. And I think it did very much go from there was a level of, hype towards Caitlin Clark.
The Stephanie White praise is real and notable, Clark specifically contrasting White's basketball mind with her previous coach in a light-hearted but pointed way, which is a genuine, on-record endorsement of the coaching change from the player herself.
What version of Caitlin is this? This was not the Caitlin Clark of days old. Like, she would rather sprint. She just sprinted everywhere. There was no lifting there.
Really work on that part of my game. And, I think the biggest thing on the court is just like that mid-range area. Like I got pretty uncomfortable in there when I would get in there, whether that's like, I didn't really have any floater. I didn't like taking a mid-range jump shot. So just getting more comfortable, like when I get my feet kind of into the paint and honestly trying to just add a floater to my game and, finishing through contact and little things like that. But I think just going back to the weapons that we.
The viral weight room photo bit is a fun, human moment, real banter about Clark's physical transformation, complete with an AI is getting out of control joke and a genuine comparison to Alex Caruso's own viral physique moment.
It's like, Caitlin, please say reality. The first thing Taurasi says is reality is coming to me after the reality is coming last year.
What's your big plans? What are you going to do?
I keep telling Sue I thought I was going to have all this time to do all these things. I'm more busy now. So if I give you any advice, play as long as possible.
We'll see. We'll get to 10 years. Then we'll think about it.
Get to 10 years. All right, so the second half's about to start. I know you've been watching the first half. What have you seen so far?
Clark's description of the atmosphere before her first game against Taurasi's Mercury is real and vivid. It felt like the last game that was ever going to be played, a genuine reflection on just how much anticipation surrounded that specific matchup.
The ups and downs, the injuries, and to be able to be in this moment as a senior and a chance to win a national championship, all those things are just going to help her going forward. And, I think hopefully being the number one pick going to Dallas, it's going to be a great opportunity, like Caitlin, to go to a franchise and really put your stamp on it. I mean, when we talk about Dallas, they've been close to getting to the playoffs. Last couple of years, they've been...
They're close to getting to the playoffs. They were the 4th seed 2 years ago. They were the 4th seed in 2023.
I mean, she's going to change their expectations and everything that they think a championship should be like.
This section pivots to discussing an unnamed incoming rookie's transition to Dallas, with real, substantive comparisons to Clark's own situation in Indiana, genuine, experienced perspective on what it takes for a star rookie to elevate a roster that already has talent in place.
It was a great game. Honestly, I'm pretty sure we were down like 10 or 15 and came all the way back and won. That was like our first win versus a team that was above 500. So thank you. I appreciate that.
Right. And all we heard that whole week was like, Indiana, they don't get along, all this. And I'm like, great. And then I'm like, this is the most together team I've ever seen.
Is that one of the hardest things for you as a pro now? Just seeing all the narratives like that one, that your team didn't get along and just having to literally ignore it, deal with it, even though you know it's not true?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's something you kind of just become used to. It's like people think they know what's going on inside of your locker room, and they just don't. At the end of the day, it's just, the girls that you have in there, and then obviously your coaching staff, and that's all that matters. And
the story about Taurasi getting left wide open after an Olympic break and hitting back-to-back threes is a real, specific basketball anecdote. Genuine appreciation for veteran savvy and how experience translates into exploiting defensive lapses.
That, and then she can play point guard, but she can also play off the ball. I think that'll be an interesting dynamic with Enrique. Obviously, we all know she's going number one, so it'll be interesting to see how they kind of.
I love how Gaten's like, well, we know she's going number one, so yeah.
Put those two pieces together and how that'll work.
Yeah. So bad news for South Carolina. UConn is 90-2 in the NCAA tournament when leading by double digits at halftime. So just want to get that little fun stat, which is obviously says something about Coach Auriemma. Caitlin, you have battled against UConn throughout. I mean, you faced them 3 times.
The favorite ref bit is real, light-hearted content. Genuine, specific praise for referee Lisa Mattingly's ability to communicate with players during tense moments. A small but human detail about life in the league.
What beast is that?
Well, I think they just are so disciplined. Like, that's just, they're going to do what they do. They're going to do it really well. And also, I think, for myself, facing his teams, they always had some of the best scouts against me. You can tell how smart he is.
Yeah.
He understands the game. He's coached against so many really good players. And, there were games I would go into and, the scouts were just it was just come on. Why are you going under ball screens? Why are you in drop coverage? But, he just made it difficult. He would throw different defenders at me.
The story about Taurasi getting ejected and the callback to the entire Mercury roster once being one technical away from suspension is real and genuinely funny. Confirmed, specific basketball history being shared in a relaxed, conversational setting between 3 people who've actually lived it.
That was definitely a big game, Caitlin Clark versus Taurasi. That was the real first game where Taurasi was super, super... Well, Caitlin Clark... It was the first time, actually, Christy Sides ever beat a team above 500. In her a season and a half, it was the first time she ever beat a team above 500 was that game.
I've been following Caitlin for so long and been watching her college career just in awe. And to be on the court and the first game was in Phoenix, and it felt like the last game that was ever going to be played. There was such anticipation. The crowd was going crazy. All the people that came out to see Caitlin and our teams play against each other, it really was an amazing moment. And you talked about how, if you could play against anyone that is this new generation. So I got to cross paths with Caitlin, at least for